Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Let's Get Technical series with me, Kavita Agrawal, the founder of EXP Invest. So today you can see I am sitting in a bit of a different setting, bit unwell, so working from couch. Um, so today's series was supposed to be stock analysis request and RSQM. That is my relative strength quant model analysis, but looks like I have received more than expected number of stock analysis requests. So this video, I will only be prioritizing those 5 stock analysis requests submitted by members. And for the RSQM, that video is kind of still in making in the background because, it's something that I'm like working on and coming back to and working on. So if you want to see how I go about finding high quality momentum stocks from my relative strength quant model, then stay tuned for the next video. In this video, I will be analyzing stocks like TIMETECHNO, L&T Finance Limited, TITAGARH, Railway Systems, M&M, and LODHA. So stay tuned with me. I'm going to share my screen and we'll start with the analysis of LODHA. All right, so this is a 75-minute time frame, and LODHA has been requested by Pranay. So he wants to enter for a swing trade and he needs the analysis whether it's a right time or not. So LODHA, let's start from the larger time frame. Very strong underlying uptrend I can see on the weekly time frame up to the very last bullish candle. The trend was very well supported. On the daily time frame, there was a small negative divergence, but good thing is that the stock has corrected. Now I can see that on the daily time frame itself, a tiny little positive divergence near the level of 40 has emerged, and that is good. Why? Because the stock is in strong positive range shift. How do I know that? Because I can observe that the RSI has been fluctuating between the range of 40 to 70 plus. Correct? I'm just going to quickly right click and remove all drawings because clearly the stock underwent some split and so all my old drawings were misplaced, right? So let's redraw. So here this is where the trend actually turned bullish, and this is technically like the first real correction that the stock has experienced. So far it's looking quite good. Let's go ahead and draw some trend lines on this. So I can see the highs are very well established, and that's what I'm going to use here. So if I take these two peaks, then I can see this tiny little spike is also getting captured. And now I'm going to clone that and put this here. And I can see this trend line was breached and a new trajectory or a new track is kind of been created here. Now zooming in, I can see that this blue line, this is a 250 EMA, very strong support on daily time frame. Here exactly a doji has been created and the stock is also created higher high. Let's go down to the lower time frame for closer analysis. I can see the volume pickup on positive activity or upward activity is pretty good, and the volume decline on downward activity is also promising. Right here, the market seems to be waiting for establishment of a proper higher high, but it does look like a sort of a positive divergence, has been created here, right? So I think LODA might give a few retests of the low. It is definitely subject to whiplash. If you want to avoid the whiplash, then I would suggest you wait for the stock to sustain above the level of 1278 approximately. That is kind of the danger zone, right? If you are okay with taking a few whiplashes, then I would suggest you go ahead and you create a position right away. So either you incur this bit of extra loss or you incur this bit of opportunity cost, whatever it is. What I would personally do is, because this stock has a very strong underlying trend, right, and it has given a pretty good dip here. So if I also wanted to measure, so I can see that this stock was in a strong bull trend. एक correction इसने इधर में दिया था. तो if I take this point and draw my Fibonacci, I can see the stock is exactly at 62% retracement. So there are lots of very strong evidences. I'm not seeing any red flags so far. So what I would suggest is take your position right away. Set your stop loss here at the level of 1087 and hold this stock at least for the retest of the original high, which is around the level of 1645 here. So this would be your first target, honestly. And your second target would be the resistance, the original trend line, this one. So if this goes back into the upward trajectory, then I would expect it to achieve the target of 2400 for you. So that's the analysis of LODHA. Now let's move to the next stock that you just submitted some time back, that is Time Techno. Perfect. So what am I seeing on Time Techno? So on Time Techno, again, very strong uptrend. I'm going to delete these Fibonacci projections. Very strong uptrend. The stock is definitely in positive range shift on the daily time frame. On 75-minute time frame, it's given double confirmation in the form of higher high on the price as well as a higher high on the RSI. So you have just entered at 380. Okay, so you've already taken your position and you intend to hold it for a month or two. What can be the levels expected? So first thing first, what is the stop loss that you should maintain here? So the stock has, if I draw a quick Fibonacci here on this very clear uptrend, again, this stock also took your support at around 62 and 62 and then has bounced back. So I think if this stock goes and breaks below this low, right, then you should get out of the stock. So I will suggest maintain a stop loss at around 351 rupees. And for your target, you should observe this 24% extension here. इसको टारगेट लेके चलो आप 489. When the stock sustains above the level of 410 or actually 410 से लेके 412 के ऊपर, when the stock sustains, you need to revise your stop loss for sure. So तब you will revise your stop loss to 50% retracement level of 370 approximately. Okay, so Techno is looking pretty, Time Technoplast is looking good for a short-term swing trade like the one that you intend to play. Just make sure that you're observing proper stop loss, trailing stop loss in this. Moving on to the next stock, we have M&M. So Mahindra and Mahindra. And short term, I'm guessing that Satyadev ji is looking for short-term analysis with the intention of fresh entry in Mahindra and Mahindra. So in my previous market outlook series, which I posted on Sunday morning, I mentioned that the auto sector is trying to is looking a little exhausted and fresh position is not recommended. Here on the daily time frame of M&M, if you see, a negative divergence had forged and the stock had given a correction. Now, this correction got over on 11th September, and since then, the stock has rallied. During this market correction that we've seen recently in like, the in October so far, M&M gave a little bit of correction that was around 6%. It has also shown some resilience. But is it a good time to make a fresh entry in the stock? You can make a fresh entry for very short term, okay? Your stop loss should be this low of around 2978.8. This is where your stop loss should be. And looking at the 15-minute time frame, okay, fine. I just don't think the risk reward ratio is very attractive in Mahindra and Mahindra at this stage. So I personally wouldn't be very, you know, very pumped about making a position here. So if I say chose a more uh, recent trajectory for the most recent uptrend, clearly it was violated. But if I uh, project it, this will help me actually potentially set a target. See, first, this stock is going to get strong resistance around the level of 3450. And if it continues to rally after that, then there is a slim chance it can rally up to 3975. I'm not very convinced at this stage. So I will set your short term target on the stock. Uh, so the short term target for you on Mahindra and Mahindra would be around this first trend line resistance vertically extended. So around 3431, which from current market price is really not much. It's just 8% with a stop loss of around 6%. Not attractive at all. What you can instead do is, because Mahindra and Mahindra is not like a super trend or it's a momentum mover, it has a tendency of going up a little bit and coming down a little bit. You can actually set a buy GTT order around the level of 3110 or 3100, right? There, if you enter, then your risk reward ratio will be way more attractive than what it is right now. Your risk reward ratio then will be approximately 2.5, which is better than what it is offering right now. So that's what I recommend for Mahindra and Mahindra for you. Next, let's move to Uday Kulkarni ji's request for TITAGARH railway system. Ooh, this is not looking good at all. Let's clean up the charts a little so we can get some better visibility. Um, and what I can see is that you want to make a fresh buy in Titagarh, okay, for long-term investment, but the PE ratio is on the higher side. Order book is good. You want to know whether it's investable, stop loss, and target. I don't think it's a good time to invest in Titagarh because right now, in my opinion, the stock is experiencing some key structural breakdowns. What are those key structural breakdowns? Look at the RSI on the daily time frame. Massive negative divergence was given, but the price did not sustain correction. Instead, it rallied. Now, this usually happens in a stock experiencing euphoria. So, this might have been a euphoria rally, and Titagarh is a stock which is a little overhyped among retail traders. Usually, very bad idea, and such stocks, especially if they give such a sharp rally and get overhyped among retail traders, also experience massive correction. So, you don't even need to look too much in the past, but if you see the last big correction that the stock gave, it was around 87% correction in a matter of around 8 to 9 years. So this stock has a tendency, sorry, not 8 to 9 years, in around 2 years, right? 790 days. I misread. That felt wrong also. But anyways, so this stock is a super cyclical stock, and I don't recommend you to purchase this stock right now because it has honestly rallied a lot. And even on the weekly time frame, it's showing a negative divergence. So my funda is very clear that if you want to invest in stocks for the long term, you should wait for those stocks to give you a very compelling entry opportunity. Fundamentally, they should be strong, and technically also they should be timed right. It's always better to buy stocks at the low of their cycles rather than at the peak of their cycles. Because if you buy stocks, even great companies, at the peak of their cycles, you will end up spending years, if not months, or months, if not years, in just waiting for the stock to reach back to break even and then give you returns. right? And your horizon is not great. It's not like very, very long. It's just 1 year. So, in my opinion, you should absolutely avoid Titagarh wagon. I think it's a missed train, and chasing this is not going to give you good returns. In fact, it might get you trapped right at the top, because if this stock starts to decline from here, it can easily decline all the way to 186 also, nothing stopping it. So I would recommend you not to touch the Titagarh wagon right now. It's super overhyped. Now we'll move on to the next stock, that is LT Finance. L&D Finance. So L&D Finance has been requested by Manan, and I can see Manan is saying monthly time frame is cup formation. How is the CMP to enter right now around 170 level for long-term holding? Any approximate target for 2 to 5 years? So if you want to enter a stock, there are much better options than L&T Finance. That too, your horizon period is pretty good, Manan, 2 to 5 years, right? See, this stock was very good to enter 3, 4 years ago in 2022, not right now. Right now, if you want to enter stocks for 2 to 5 years horizon, go for chemical sector, not finance sector. In fact, if you look at the rally here, I have already marked in my like long time back when I was studying, there's a massive negative divergence and a negative range shift. So this stock is no longer showing signs of a massive bull run. In fact, it is preparing, it has exhausted the rally and it's preparing to go into correction. Now, when it goes into correction, there is no promise of how much it's going to correct. It can correct up to 38% if it's giving a shallow correction, which would be 119 rupees. If it's giving a deep correction, it can go down to 90 rupees. No promises, right? So all in all, I wouldn't recommend you to go for LTF at this stage at all. Perfect. So with that, we've concluded all the stock analysis requests. So I will do the RSQM model analysis as well, and I will be uploading that video either later tonight or by tomorrow, so you can catch that as well for your analysis. And if you have stock analysis requests, if you want me to look at stocks and help you out with levels, you can just visit this link at the top of my head and submit your request. Now, mind you, there's going to be a nominal charge that I levy on these requests when you submit them, because this entire setup doesn't come for free, neither does my time. So I would appreciate if you can cooperate with that. I see a lot of people submitting requests but not making the nominal payment, which is really mean, guys. Don't do that. So yeah, I will also be uploading the Market Outlook series. And if you did not catch last week's Market Outlook, where I did mention that the market does look like it can turn around, and it has done a lot of correction. And I also talked about which sectors are expecting to come in back into momentum, and those sectors have actually started to run up quite a bit. If you haven't caught that Market Outlook, I would strongly recommend you do. I'm going to link it in the description box for you guys to be able to catch it. I'm also sharing it in the comments if you want to check it out. Also, do join my Telegram channel if you want to connect with me, and if you want to join my Trade Together program where I give short term swing trading recommendations, or if you want to build your long term portfolio with my recommendations. There's a subscription service for that as well. You're welcome to join that. If you have a portfolio that needs a little bit of attention from an expert, then I will give it full attention and I will help you free up your capital so that you're not just, you know, thrown out of the race here. Get back in the game with a healthy portfolio, declutter your portfolio. So that's my portfolio cleanup service. And anything else, just join my Telegram channel and you can get to know about more services that I can help you out with, more ways that I can help you out with, right? So that's it for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. You will see me again in a recorded video for the RSQ model. Just have a great trading week. See you on Friday. Bye.